My father left me with $73,000 worth of debt without me knowing, so I am screwing his life and filing a case. I graduated from university with my undergrad in 2024. At the time of graduating, I thought that I had around $10,000 of federal student loans. Recently, my mom left my emotionally abusive father, leaving just her, me, and my sibling by ourselves. I was happy with this decision until I found out that the $10,000 of debt I thought I was in was actually far more than that. I knew he had taken out some private student loans for me throughout my first year of university. I was told that since I was only 18 at the time, the bank we loaned from wouldn't allow me to pull out loans since I didn't have good credit. He told me that he would be able to take out these student loans under my mother's name and that he'd pay them off as soon as I was done with school. I found out recently that the loans were in fact under my name with my mom just as a co-signer. Also, the loans were far more than was needed to pay for my tuition. She did not know this either, by the way. He had taken out a total of $48,000 in private student loans under my name. I remember signing up for these. He did not forge my signature. When I asked exactly what I was signing for or more details about everything, he told me, "Stop asking questions and just trust me." Every time I tried to push for answers, I got that response. I trusted him. I trusted that he would not screw me over. I had trusted him to help build my credit when I turned 18. I found out now that he's completely messed up my credit too. My TransUnion score is 669, and my Equifax score is 577. He used my tuition money for rent and bills. I do not know what he used the money he got from my credit cards for. Throughout the past few years, he had convinced us that he was making a lot of money from his job. Now realized that he was likely lying about that and just secretly screwing me over. I have 3 closed credit cards that are in debt. One is a $6,055 balance with $6,055 due. The second is a $12,864 reported balance with $0 due. Does this second one mean that I don't have to pay off the balance? The third one is a $6,228 balance with $714 due. From what I have looked up, I owe a little over $35,000 in credit card debt. I also know that he messed up my sister's credit too. I'm not sure by how much. I haven't had the chance to look into that. Also, I think it's important to note that he currently owes 3 different family members over $200,000. I found this out this week too. Flash forward to now. I found out about these loans a few days ago. I now have a total of $58,000 in student loan debt in addition to my credit debt. My first student loan payment is due in less than 3 weeks. I need advice. I don't want to take legal action against him. I don't want him to end up in jail. He is currently helping us by paying for our rent and car even though my mom has left him. My mom doesn't currently have a job, and my job doesn't make nearly enough to provide for ourselves without his help. In August, I will start a higher paying job, so I could ask him to just send me money every month instead of paying for rent and the car. I could use that money to help pay off the debt. As of right now, I am not worried about my federal student loans. The minimum payment is doable, and I will receive around $14,000 of tuition reimbursement in March to April, so that will help. Should I consolidate the private loans? Should I refinance? I've briefly considered filing for bankruptcy, but that's probably a bad idea. Is there a way for me to not have to deal with this debt without landing him in a lot of trouble? Update. I talked with some close friends of mine. I see that the best thing to do is file against him. I brought up the topic to my mother last night, and she said, "No, don't do that. God wouldn't want you to harm another person like this, let alone your own father." She said that she'd rather take on the private student loan debt by refinancing and transferring it to her. But honestly, that wouldn't remove the credit card debt, and it'd leave her with the debt. Instead, I don't think that's a good choice. I think that if I file against my dad, my mother will kick me out. So if I file, I will already be prepared to move out. That being said, I currently only have $2,000 saved up from work, and that will not be enough to move out on my own. I'd need more money to get a car, place, and overall survive. I just moved to the city. I'm in less than a year ago, so I don't have many people to rely on here. My boyfriend offered to let me live at his family's house, but I'd still need to be able to travel to and from work, and I don't want to overstay my welcome. Also, don't have the option to move because I have to work in the state of Florida to qualify for my university's tuition reimbursement. In March, I have over $14,000 of tuition reimbursement coming in. My best bet would be to wait till March and then leave. It breaks my heart to do this because I could be disowned by every person in my family, but I can't let myself live with this debt. Prior to this, I thought I only had $10,000 worth of debt, and with that, I could have easily lived a good life and paid it off quickly. I'm still not 100% set on this decision, but I do realize that it is the logical thing to do. I want to speak with my siblings to see how much debt my father put them in and to see if they want to file too. I also want to speak with a lawyer or someone more knowledgeable than me about this. Does anyone have any advice based on this update? Update 2. My mom's religious comments are obviously ridiculous, but I'm mostly looking for help with how to file or what to expect. I have records showing that $23K of refunds went to a bank account he controlled. I didn't see a dime of that money, and I think he used it to pay for a vacation NGL.